How can the Huskers take advantage of these next two games in order to give them a chance against Oklahoma?
Win, baby. Just win.
Abby, do you have any teaching in your background or in your family or any? I think you just take all those mistakes and you say, okay, this is what happened. We did this. You don't do this. You do that.
I mean, I think they have a long list in these last 4 years of things that they shouldn't do. So you think at some point they could figure out the things that they're supposed to do. But for these two games, I think what they really need to figure out is their identity, like the offensive identity. Try to work through like these connections in the game from Adrian to these receivers and the tight ends, and get the tight ends more involved and see more of a running game. So I think that they just need to kind of create some sort of momentum and like a groove on the field, because supposedly they have it in practice, but they really need to, translate it on game day in order to have a little bit of a chance against Oklahoma.
Oliver Martin had a big game, 6 catches, $103 and a touchdown. And he ran that post pattern that Adrian actually made, what I think off the top of my head was the best pass of the day, especially since a rusher hit his arm and he had to kind of just fling it. And it was perfectly lofted out there for like a 43-yard gain. Samori Toure didn't light it up or anything, but I certainly didn't see anything out there from a negative standpoint that didn't show that he was the player that Greg has prepped him to be during the offseason here.
Yeah, I mean, Oliver Martin, no surprise there. I peg him for 4 or 5 catches a game anyway, so he exceeded my expectation right there. Samori Toure is going to be that constant. He did, his presence was felt out there, but just not enough. The sleeper was Omar Manning. Xavier Betts didn't get much of a chance besides a kickoff return, which he won that job. But it's like Coach Lubick said today too, that those guys got to earn it in practice. That's the biggest thing holding guys back about getting reps in the game is that maybe they had a great fall camp and stuff, but the week leading up to the game they didn't have such a great practice. You got to go out there and earn those reps, and they definitely. I mean, they want to get more guys reps, and that's why you're seeing guys out there like Wyatt Lever, making plays and stuff like that, because some of these other guys just, I guess they had a bad week of practice, as far as we can tell. But, definitely they need to get those guys involved in the game, and that starts with a running game. And once you start opening things up with the running game, hopefully those receivers get out there. And Travis Vokalek's been injured. Hopefully they get him back here maybe this week or at least that against Buffalo, and that'll bolster things up too. And we'll kind of see where things go here with these next 2 games. 2 weeks of playing teams that definitely you should win, and you should get a lot of different guys getting a lot of reps, of game speed reps, which should only help them out down the road.
We got to see Omar Manning finally. He caught a couple passes, 28 yards.
Yeah, we want more, though. I mean, there's a couple of meaningless catches, basically, that didn't amount to much. And, this is the guy that everybody's waiting to see break out and be that game breaker, kind of like a Julio Jones type guy, that kind of a difference maker. But, we'll have to wait till this weekend to maybe see that happen.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how this running back distribution goes after this performance. They only had about 19 carries out of the running backs. Irvin had 12 and Johnson had 4, step 3.
Yeah, not enough. Not even close to enough. Not even half enough that you need to do to be successful.
And Greg, I thought of it immediately when it happened. We shouldn't have to talk about this, but we did a couple times during the offseason. They had a bad snap.
Yeah. He did it again, didn't he? Yeah, it cost them bad. Cost them big time.
It actually didn't cost them. Because Adrian ran for 26 yards right after that. He made up for it. They had like a 2nd and 24,
right,
and then
yeah, you're right. I forgot about that play.
So he kind of wiped it out.
But it still leaves that question mark out there.
Oh, sure.
When that could happen at the world's worst time and kill anything that's going on in your momentum.
It also would have been more helpful if Adrian was running for 26 positive yards and not just to get the yards back.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
That was amazing because he gained exactly the amount of yards that he needed. Go figure.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was at a point in the game. Obviously, they're hustling. They're trying to get back in the game. They were probably down 2 touchdowns, I guess. That might have been the touchdown. That might have been the drive that cut it to 1 touchdown, 1 score. And I thought right then, okay, they're in a hole, 2nd and 26. I want to see if they can come back and win this. And if it gets blown because of a bad snap that puts them in a hole, but then they picked up the yardage. Then there was a little confusion that I would have to go back and look at later in that drive. No. Yeah, when they threw the 4th down touchdown pass.
That drive, they wasted probably, 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Clock time on that drive that they should never have wasted.
Yeah, there was a little confusion as to whether they gained the 1st down, and they didn't, so there was a 4th down, but fortunately they threw a touchdown pass on 4th down to keep the game alive.
Yeah, they had miscue. They didn't even know what down it was. But no, they wasted so much time trying to get down there for that score, that last score that they got to get within range. And, you leave yourself with a minute left on the clock when you finally get the ball back. And, a minute's an eternity in college football, but not for Nebraska.